Hello everyone. We have a real treat for you today. It's something we've been wanting to do, and we have Mitch Kellum here and his sidekick. You want to introduce your...
This is my daughter Allie. She's my right-hand man, so to say.
Yeah.
Woman.
Stop.
Negative.
Oh boy. Yeah, I've got one too. I've got a daughter and a granddaughter that live with me. But Mitch has a real interesting, report he'd like to share with us today. He's doing a blue cat project that's exploratory, and I'm gonna let him explain it to you. But we're here at the Waterman's Museum in Yorktown today, and we were going to do it out with the river in the background, but the bridge traffic and AC units running and everything, we said, well, let's come on inside because it's pushing 100 degrees out there today. But so now you know where we're at and what we're doing, so I'm gonna turn it over. Mitch, you got some opening statement you'd like to make? Or
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is thank you for taking your time to do this. I would have loved to have been able to post a bunch of videos of pots full of catfish, but the truth is, you put everything I've done the past few weeks together, and I've really only caught enough fish for one good fish fry at a big family reunion. I want to say thank you to Vims, and in previous videos I had referred to it as Virginia Sea Grant. I want to clarify that it is Virginia Fisheries Resource Grant Program, and my commercial guys, I'm pretty sure just about all y'all get one of these. So these people have been nothing but good to me, and I want to thank them very much for giving me the opportunity to play with something. So, you got some questions, Alan?
yeah, absolutely. What is the grant program and what is it intended for?
That's exactly where I want to start at. Anyways, the grant program is there for, and you don't have to be a commercial fisherman, but it is there to give funding to people that might have ideas, to new fishing devices, better ways to handle your catch, processing. Right now, like what I'm doing is catfish, because these blue cats have been an issue in Virginia for some time, and they're making an impact, but we can make an impact back. So that's what I did. They gave me the grant. They supplied me with 110 of these crab pots. If you take a look right here, and this is just a standard Eddie Heath crab pot. Got these at Rappahannock Supply. The flip top, I went with those because that seemed to make it easier to get the fish out. If you needed to reach in and get something, then it's just easier. And I think that if non-commercial people were going to do it, just Joe Blow homeowner, this is a really easy option. The trap itself, like I said, just a regular crab trap. This one isn't rigged yet, but what we've been doing is just opening the funnels just a bit to allow for fish to go in. This hump in the funnel is a little strange. And these pots have been catching, I have not caught a fish that was over 8 pounds in these. And that's a big part of something that, your sport fishermen, your recreational guys, they take issue with us taking the giant fish out of there. They don't. They want us to leave some of the big fish so they can catch them hook and line fishing. Well, I got good news for you. Those fish ain't going nowhere. We're not going to break the breed up on the blue cats, but we can push back. And I think this is something that both commercial and recreational people can get a benefit out of. You can either make a few dollars or you can make some good meals. It's up to you how you want to go with it.
Absolutely, that's right. What body of water was the experiment conducted on?
I started in Mattaponi River. I've been there the whole time. I went just a couple bends above the West Point bridges to start with, and I went up. But I've been in Mattaponi the entire time.
Okay. All right, well, what did you hope to accomplish with the experiment?
Well, I was really hopeful to show a bunch of videos of bailing catfish over the side of the boat, but ultimately I just wanted to see because like I said, they provided the funding to do this. They gave me an opportunity where I didn't have to sacrifice any of my own equipment. I didn't have to make a huge significant investment out of my own pocket to try it. And I got to scratch an itch and answer some questions that I've had. And I'm really less than a third of the way through this project so far. But the summer experiment really hasn't yielded much. The fish have been quite a bit deeper, and we'll get into it, some of the drawbacks and some of the positives in just a minute.
Right. What baits have you tried so far?
Oh, I've tried some stuff. I have tried mostly bunkers. Also, I've used a lot of peelers that I had saved from the spring for my shedding system. I just froze them in cartons. Chicken livers, dog food, chicken, croakers. Caught croakers up there. Caught croakers at nearly 0% salinity. Use those in the pots. Those worked as well. Those caught fish. I don't know, but they rot quick. The crabs didn't last very long. You would think that peelers would do awesome, but when you're dealing with 83 to 85 degree water temperatures, that crab is just rotten, and smaller stuff is picking it apart quickly.
Right. I hear that. Well, what was your plan for the summer experiment?
Well, the whole intention for the summer experiment was to kind of get my feet wet into it. All the traps are rigged with 5/8 frames, torpedo buoys, which is a 5x11, and 50-foot buoy lines. As a general rule, that's something that's pretty standard crabbing equipment for your commercial crabbers. Most of your bigger crabbers have that set up on the traps. So I wanted to go with something that was readily available, that either people already had or were gonna buy anyway. So that was geared towards the crabber itself, but I stayed up on the shoulder edges and worked my way up, tiptoeing 25 to 30 pots at a time, just hopscotching up Mattaponi River. Managed to make it about 2/3 of the way to Walkerton before I ran into some other issues that really weren't part of the experiment. One of the things I did run into was other species I didn't want to catch. I don't want to create bad PR, so when I started seeing things like bluegill and largemouth bass, I decided it was time to make sure that stuff goes back overboard safe and to back the experiment back down. And the idea was to, once I got up as far as I was going to go, to start backing the equipment further and further to the center of the river and back down. What I didn't anticipate was the high salinity creating so much grass growth that far up. The ropes on the pots were getting dirty, and it doesn't really matter how much frame you put on there. 25 foot of water, 50 foot of rope, and the pot's still drug as soon as that rope got dirty.
All right. What are some of the benefits if the experiment is successful?
Well, the major benefit would be, to get some of these blue cats out of the water, a marketable size fish, because these cats, like I said, I haven't caught a fish over 8 pounds in these pots, but I've seen many 2 to 4s, and I've seen a lot of 4 to 8s. On a commercial aspect, somebody with a few hundred crab pots can take their equipment, go up a river, and catch some of these cats. You'll normally see the price on these fish 60 to 75 cents a pound. That doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you catch 2,000 pounds of them and you've made a day's work.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I also would like to see that, maybe there's recreational people, dock owners, homeowners. You can pick this up off the shelf. You can go, and just a plug for Rappahannock Supply, but anywhere that sells a crab pot, you can get a crab pot, you can get a 5/8 frame, you can get a buoy, you can get 50 foot of rope, and use your plotter, use your fish finder. These places where you're going around and you're seeing fish stacked up on the bottom, when you're in these freshwater reaches, 90% of those fish you're seeing are blue catfish. You can catch them, and I've seen, it wasn't part of the experiment. I will do it later. I will explain more when we start with the fall and winter part. But some of my modified traps, I have caught a lot of fish in too. But I just wanted the first leg of this experiment to be standard equipment, something anybody either already had or could easily obtain.
What are some of your biggest drawbacks so far with the experiment?
The biggest drawback was not really, I should have, no, not should have. I could have started deeper to begin with where I was seeing fish marks at, but in my mind, I didn't really think that, if you're doing something you already know works, that's not much of an experiment. And I really want it to go up on the edges and back down the center. What inhibited that a lot was the growth on the ropes. It's kind of a beast to keep those ropes clean when the grass is growing in 48 hours. But that's a summertime issue.
Right.
We're not going to have that issue when the water temperatures start dropping again. So I think those were probably my biggest drawbacks, is not anticipating the fish being deep and the ropes getting dirty.
As a byproduct from that, maybe per se, further up you go, do you see more growth? Can you identify where maybe there's more algae growing because of more things being washed in and concentrated?
It really is kind of strange, and I'm glad you said it like that, because there's some areas in the river where I'm seeing virtually no growth. And that's from about 10 part ppm to almost 0 parts per million. You don't see much growth, but it's a very narrow band in the river where you're seeing that salinity. Then when you go less and you end up in 0 parts per million, the grass shows up again. And it's not a muddy rope, it's just red grass. And it's not just growing on a rope there, it's growing on a pot too.
Right.
So, that's a byproduct of summertime, but this year I think everybody would agree it's been really dry. We've seen some strange things, and all your stuff that is a saltwater thing has moved much further up.
Has anything jumped out? What's the biggest things you've learned so far?
Oh wow. The biggest things I have learned so far. Well, I've learned that you can catch catfish in a crab pot. When I do my fall experiment, I will show y'all some videos of my modified traps with the frames heavier, longer lines, and so I can really reach out and touch those fish, and it won't matter what the tide is, they'll just hold. But I've learned that I really do believe menhaden is about the best bait you can get, at least in the summer months. It stands in the pot longer than other things did. Dog food, chicken livers basically evaporated. And I didn't put into the budget when I did the grant to include things like bait bags or anything to keep that stuff contained. Maybe in the fall as well.
When do you plan on starting the next leg of the experiment?
Well, I'm thinking we're probably going to start the next leg of the experiment. I'm going to break this down, get all the pots back where I want them. I'm going to throw a few more into the mix, and probably going to put maybe like 30 pots in Mattaponi, 30 pots in the Upper James, 30 pots in the Pamunkey, and let them set. Just bait them good, let them set, check them in 4 or 5 days after you set them, and whichever body of water produces the most fish per pot, take them all that way. I mean, that's standard go get them stuff.
Right, I hear that. Well, in closing, what would you like to leave us with today?
The blue cats are an issue, but they're up these rivers, particularly right now. They're up to freshwater reaches. These rivers are narrow. We can catch these fish. They do make an impact. They're making an impact on our menhaden. Believe it or not, there's an awful lot of bait. These blue cats are very well fed. If you had the choice between sitting still and having fish food swim directly to you, or go trying to chase down a rotten bunker in a crab pot, you'd probably sit still and let fresh food come to you too. But we can get these, people need to work together. The commercial harvest, people have been putting some pressure on them lately. Hoop netting has gotten to be a big thing. There's some people catching them in pound nets. They catch a lot when they catch fish. But it doesn't have to be just commercial. Your average everyday hook and line fisherman should be going and enjoying these fish. There's more in Virginia than a rockfish. There's more than a cobia, a speckled trout. There's more than a red drum. you have some very nice, very easily attainable, large blue catfish that you can eat, and you can have a heck of a lot of fun catching. So go get them.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Well, I really appreciate your time today, and I appreciate you coming with your dad and giving him support and holding his hand during his interview. But no, but we appreciate what you're doing, and we all need to learn all we can about them and the best ways and methods, and so it's a good thing. And I appreciate, like you said, VIMS and the whole state and putting this together to allow us to explore like this.
Yeah, the funding is there. It's not limitless, but these people at VIMS will not eat you. They want people to participate. They want to give this grant money out. So if you have a good idea, if you have a new idea, you get these cards. This is Virginia Fisheries Resource Grant Program.
All right.
And you get in touch with these people, and they'll walk you right through it. It's not hard, and you may get the grant, you may not get a grant. But the more people that try and we use this, the better we can improve our fisheries, at least hopefully.
Absolutely. That's right. Well, again, we thank you. We appreciate it. And it's been a hot one out there today. You were working today.
Oh, yeah.
You've already put your day in and then came to do this with us. So I just want to say thank you.
And thank you, Alan. I appreciate your time, bud.
And when you feel like you've got another report to put out there, get with me.
Yes, sir. You got it.
We'll do it again. Oh, boy. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.